I think what the slums that are there today represent a universal neglect of the reality of how cities have always neglected slums. You know? And this is not something that's only happened, say, after independence or something, but worldwide when cities need, cities always pull labor and rural people who need cash income to come into the and rarely provide them with either a place to stay or a place to potentially build their own houses. And so people live near where they work when they first come in. And then the lack of mobility options help them consolidate living where they are. So the only difference between this phenomena that we see in Mumbai, for instance, BDD and the BIT stalls, which were set up by these, to provide tenements to people who came to work in the city, and mainly because they wanted, they needed all those workers to be healthy, and especially after all those cholera and plague epidemics. So they wanted, more of workers who were there in the textile mills to be there. And as long as those needs were there, the tenements were built, and then after 1940 they were stopped. So even then it was for a certain portion of the people coming into the city, but not to most of them.
No, but why are there no slums in, let's say, Bangalore, or fewer slums in Bangalore, but there are too many slums in Mumbai?
What are you talking? There are no slums in
No, I said fewer slums in Bangalore, I said.
Why are there no newer slums?
Why are there fewer slums in Bangalore?
Not fewer slums. See, I think that you are starting from a very, I think you're starting from a wrong premise.
No, because I have been told by Bangalore people that we don't have as many slums in Bangalore as, let's say, you Mumbai people have.
Well, there's no question. First of all, I think that if you really want to understand the phenomena of slums, start with that instead of saying, why is it more here, why is it less here? Start off with this premise. In Mumbai, the situation is that for the longest time to come, you had a city. You are from Mumbai, I presume.
Yeah, I'm from Mumbai.
Okay. So, for the longest time, even when in 1974, New Bombay was set up to deal with the growth of the city, the transport links only came out in 1990. Until then, people had to take a bus, which came to Dadar, and then pay 50 rupees per visit, and then come here. So what you have is a situation where you had an island city that had huge volume of work opportunities for the poor in the informal sector, no place for them to stay, and few transport options. You remember all those stories of people coming from Pune to work in Mumbai. But those were middle class people. Because you have to be able to afford transport to live far away from where you work. When you are very poor and you earn less than a minimum wage, you cannot afford transport. You have to walk to work. If you look at the old slums that were built in the city, which were in the city, if you look at in the early, right from 1800s, there used to be slums all along the port. Because even today, all the godowns and all the wholesale markets, they don't have mechanized transport of, all that Hail Party work is done by people. And that's why if you see that the maximum number of sellers used to be or continue to be in the E-ward where all these big godowns were there. And where all these, handloom sector started after the textile mill. So you'll find that there are different reasons why people come into the city. And in the case of Mumbai, compared to any other place, it was a destination where even today a poor person can earn sometimes equivalent to a minimum wage collecting garbage. So as the city's wealth increases, its informal employment also increases. No? Each one of us have more and more people servicing us. Where do they live? So compared to other cities, so now to answer your question, compared to other cities, because of the structure of the land markets and the whole nature of the city, because the city, it's only now that you have a metropolitan region and you can say that people are moving northward. Otherwise, the city was just like it didn't have space to grow. Because in most of the other cities, like in Bangalore, for instance, they have now a greater Bangalore area. They've brought in so many villages. And now, in the next 5 years, if they don't develop a plan to house all the people, all these places will become slums because people will move and live around those areas. So I don't think any of our metropolitan cities have no slums. Nowhere in the world, I think, other than Mexico maybe, that there's such a large informal settlement population. So that way our city has the maximum slum dwellers. But it's not that the other cities have less. If a city has less than 10% slums, then you can say it's less. But the minute it crosses 10%, it's a serious volume of people that policies have to be directed immediately to deal with it.